Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Counselor's Office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are back in This Week in Destiny. That's right, fresh off the press, we're jumping into it. I've not read it, so I'm doing this completely, right on the spot. This Week in Destiny, we're continuing to unravel the mystery of Nessus with our best pal, Failsafe. With so much going on the past few weeks, we're taking a bit of a breather this week, but we have some amazing art to share and an update from our raid and dungeon systems team. List of topics: Art Station, the Final Shape Art Blast, Raid and Dungeon Updates, Grandmaster Nightfall returns next week, Player Support Report, Movie, and Art of the Week. Alright, the art of the Final Shape. The epic environment, fearsome looking dread, and elegant beauty of the prismatic subclass all have one thing in common. They came from the minds of the incredibly talented artists here at Bungie, and now we want to share a look inside the art and help bring the Final Shape to life. Head over to Art Station to check out the art. All right, I want to do that. So let's go see what's going on. Oh. Okay, that's cool. Some of this art is really freaking cool. And we get to see the breakdown of everything. I'm just glossing over. Yeah, that's the older stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think the Dread, some of the new Dread, the Scions, I think it's pretty cheap. But the Husk and all these other ones, definitely really good. So props to Bungie for that. All right, raid and dungeon updates. We have a few raid and dungeon details to share, including some upcoming dates and details on a change we're planning in the near term. Let's jump in. The Final Shape brought in a few changes to raid and dungeon experience. First, the difficulty tiers and power level caps were reworked, altering the difficulty for many power-enabled activities. At the same time, surges were added to raids, offering a damage boost for certain damage types on a weekly rotation. We've seen a lot of discussion and different numbers providing for how this impacts the raid and dungeon experience. So we wanted to first give a quick clarification on the net change for incoming and outgoing damage. So everything right now is at a -5, which means raids, your outgoing damage is -33%. Dungeons is a +2%. Outgoing plus surges is a -15%. Dungeons is a +28%. Incoming, -5 is now a +32. And now dungeons is a +17. Incoming, well, I guess with surges is incoming at +15 is a +3% and -8%. So I'm curious of what this table's implying here. There are numbers specifically for regular combatants, dregs, acolytes. More difficult combatants may scale a bit differently. Raids and dungeons had different settings previously. However, being very similar to each other, they were changed to use the same settings in the Final Shape to be more consistent. While the outgoing damage is capped at -5, in the power-enabled matchmaking difficulties, standard and advanced, players will continue to increase defensive effectiveness beyond the target power. The target power display focuses on offensive output for UI UX reasons. This means the player will continue to reduce income damage up to a +15 in standard and +10 in advanced. In our chart above, you can see that players only take slightly more damage in raids at +15, while they take less damage in dungeons than before the Final Shape. With the context in mind, we've been listening to the feedback around how surges have impacted player build choice, and we're going to make a change. Let's hope it's good, because right now it's trash. Upcoming changes: we've decided to remove surges from raids and dungeons in next week's update. Thank God! Screw everyone who thought it was a good thing. And as well as adjust tuning so that you'll perform as if you had them across the board. This means the damage bonus will now be applied to all subclass types, including kinetic by default. This change will make outgoing damage in dungeons higher and reduce the difference in raids compared before the Final Shape. It does so while removing barriers to buildcraft. We'll continue to monitor feedback and see how this update plays out for everyone. So my concern here is, though, surges are a +25, and then a -25, you do 25% less damage. So it makes me wonder, are we still going to do 10% less damage? Like, don't get me wrong, this is still an improvement, and I think it's a nice medium where, yes, we're doing 10% less damage, but at the same time, at least now you can use whatever you want. And that was my biggest, as a veteran, my biggest concern. So I'm so glad we're done with that garbage. Surges should be for Master. Master's the challenge. Thank God. We're getting to a middle point, I believe, and this should be a good change. But take the L for all those that were trying to defend Surges and a -5 cap. Fortnite dance on the grave. All right, Salvation's Edge, Master difficulty. Now talking about challenge, let's get to the fun. Master difficulty for Salvation Edge will be available starting June 25th. If you're looking for additional challenge, grab your fire team and show what you're made of. Most likely I'll probably end up having to run with LFG and then maybe clan later. We'll see if anyone actually gets on reset day. But it seems like more of the raiding has happened on the weekend for me with the clan. Grandmaster Nightfall. This is also my jam. So we're double dipping. We got Grandmasters and we have Salvation's Edge. Woo! Master, that's great. Grandmaster difficulty for Nightfall is returning on June 25th with the Glassway as the featured Nightfall. Ooh, actually Glassway is not that hard. Run Stacy turrets. Warlocks rejoice because Stacy turrets are coming for this. If you're looking for a Grandmaster challenge, Grandmaster Excision is now available. This is where you should be testing out your builds, by the way. If you want to know if your prismatic builds can handle Grandmaster, this is a perfect opportunity to see how your survivability, how you interact. Obviously, it's chaotic, but if you can handle the chaos with your build, I think you'll be okay. And you can also go solo if you're a mad lad to really push it to the limit. Player support. Ooh, face. I guess that's what they're going for. Kvostov issues. We are currently investigating issues around the acquisition of Kvostov exotic. Players should keep the following information in working to acquire this weapon, so keep this in mind. Modes of lights. Players should ensure they have collected and placed all visions of the traveler in addition to defeating all overthrow bosses in each area. We additionally recommend that players who only need to defeat the Taken Servitor boss in the ballooning attempt to kill it a couple times, including return to orbit twin runs. This is why you should have it just be a checkbox or an item that automatically goes to your inventory. The fact that it drops a gambit mote that can be moved around or is not spawning. I hope they never do this again. I'm glad they're experimenting, but never do this again. Literally make it a checkbox, like a secret triumph that unlocks after you do one, and then the other ones are secretive if that's what you want to do. But literally just have it checked off, and that way you just unlock the item from the triumph. Because we do spoils that way, we've done weapons that way. You could literally unlock the final mote that you need by just completing the secret triumph. That's my personal opinion. We are aware of an issue where the triumphs that track which the overthrow, that one was bugged from day one, so don't even bother. People are like, I already did it. Don't listen to it because it's the triumph doesn't track appropriately. Encryption bits. Players should ensure they have collected all region chests in the Pale Heart in addition to searching all the rubble piles and assist activities. We are aware of separate issue where the triumph for opening the region chests and searching for the rubble piles can be unintentionally completed before meeting the intended requirements. Players are advised to rerun all sys activities and make sure every rubble pile has been searched. God, that sucks. This was a pain in the butt, especially if you didn't do you're chasing fragments for your prismatic subclass. You're not doing that at the same time of getting bits. You're running like these sys activities multiple times. I think I did like 10 or 13 times and had to do overflow way too many times. It was too much overthrow for me to like care. But thank God you only had to do it one time. Once you've done it one through, you're good. Acquiring prismatic on alternate characters. The prismatic Destiny heroes Lost in the Light and Found Dark quests can only be completed once per account. Players who purchase the Final Shape campaign skip boost or who are attempting to acquire prismatic on alternate characters will instead need to play the 6 adventures available in the Lost City and unlock the prismatics. Also, if you've already completed, so that's the key thing. If you've already beaten the mission and you just want to play through, you will unlock a couple of things in the campaign, but most of it is the 6 missions, the adventures. I'm a little disappointed that you can't replay these, just for the lore and some of the voice lines, it sucks. I didn't record some of those for like my playthrough that I'm uploading. It sucks. You can't replay it, but it is what it is. Known issues. We are continuing to investigate various known issues. Here are a list of the latest issues. Motes of light not dropping from the taken witness, which is funny because literally maybe flung. I found that standing under the servitor boss gave me my moat. Like I would, as soon as like it died, I would jump up like where its body is at. And that's how I got it the second time I killed it. The golden tricorn perk incorrectly tied to player super damage type instead of the grenade and melee. Winter's Guile doesn't auto shatter enemies. Frozen with Penumbra Blast. Completing the Lightfall campaign on Legend difficulty does not award choice of exotic item. Two-Tailed Fox does not benefit from elemental weapon search armor mods. Ew. Players are unable to claim the Trials of Cyrus rank 10 reputation reward. Yikes. And here we go. Oh my god. Here goes the art community popping the crap off. That's great. And then movie of the week. Being a dad is wonderful, but sometimes kids just want to play. Bluey, the video game. Yeah, I've seen the clip going around where this guy got logged off because his kids wanting to play on a different game. Kids, can't wait to have them one day and have them interrupt a game. I don't know if it'll be Destiny, but it's definitely going to be something that they're going to interrupt. That's all we have for this week. Hopefully you're setting into the final shape and Echoes, getting some nice exotic class items and ergo some rolls, testing some crazy prismatic builds, and earning patterns for the new weapons. Having tons of fun, of course. Let's keep doing that. The Destiny 2 community team. I'm gonna be honest. Echoes, it's just a little gripe of mine. Echoes is just episodes. Or episodes is just seasons. So we should all just call them seasons because that's what they are. There is zero difference outside of the fact that they're being stretched. That's it. There's fundamentally zero difference except maybe slightly better cinematics. It's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing. That's just my weekly gripe is I'm calling them seasons, season of Echoes. It is not episode because there's nothing episodic about it. Because you can't just binge it. Like if you're watching like a TV series and you're watching episodes, you can binge watch a certain amount until the next season comes out, which is what this should be. You should be able to binge the episodes or the missions until you get to the Act 1 done and then wait for Act 2. Play at your own time, but instead they're still drip feeding you this garbage. And it's not garbage. It's garbage in the layout, right? I like the Echoes so far. It's all right. It's not a big deal for me. I think it's fun. I love Enigma activity. It's fun. But the layout is still garbage because it's still seasons and we don't want to be drip fed anymore. If you want to drip feed in the fact that it's cut up in acts, that's great. But let me do what I want to do. But personally, I'm checked out. I've done almost everything in Destiny. I've almost everything crafted now. I've got the raid exotic. Like, I'm going to do some Grandmasters and continue to do some raids, like the Master Challenges. And I'm going to probably be playing some Elden Ring. I'm going to be honest. Destiny, it's been good. But if you're going to drip feed episodes, I'm just going to give you the bird and say, I'm out. That's it. That's pretty much it. Bungie going to learn. But hey, I will give them props. They did learn that people don't want you changing their crap when it comes to base raids. You want a challenge? Go to Master. Suck it up, Buttercup. Thank God Bungie's listening. It makes me happy because so many people are like, get over it. Oh, you get over it. Woo! It's nice. It's nice to feel like your voice is being heard in a game that you play a lot of. And it makes me happy that there's a lot of new lights and new raiders and people that actually get to do the thing. I hope they also remove this crap because they didn't mention it, but Vanguard Ops is also -5. So can we change that? Because why? I should be able to go screwy tooey in basic Vanguard Ops. Anyways, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Until next time, hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Until next time, game out. Huzzah.